Hello, everybody. My name is Richard Friesen, and I'm an author reading here for Unlikely Heroes. And I have a humorous superhero tale about narcolepsy. And talk about unlikely heroes on more than one level. He's the guy. This particular episode is from chapter 1 of the first narcolepsy book. There are 2 out now. And it's not the first scene, it's the second scene. The first chapter is called Coitus Interruptus. The first scene is about his girlfriend, who he and his girlfriend are making love for the first time, and both of them fall asleep, and she ends up in a weird dream. So she wakes up, gets mad, leaves, and now we have Sam. Here we go. Samuel Neufeld pounded the sheets in frustration. Damn, damn, damn. Why did he always fall asleep? He laid on his back, staring at the textured white ceiling until his breathing calmed. Then Sam rolled off the bed. Not bothering with clothes, he padded over to the tiny kitchen and got a soda from the fridge. As he took a drink, he wondered if Danelle would ever speak to him again. His heart clogged up in his throat, and he choked, spewing Dr. Pepper all over the counter. Why had his eyes closed? Why had his half-conscious mind conjured his uncle's farm? Why their first time? Why had his mom shown up? He hadn't even had a chance to speak to Danelle before she shrank and he bounded over to her. The wrestling and licking had been strange and fun. Compared to his other experiences, intimate experiences, the entire day had been marvelous. Frustrated with himself and worried Danelle wouldn't be back, Sam picked up some gym shorts from the floor and pulled them on before skirting the couch and turning on his TV. He found his training videos for Krav Maga, a mixed martial arts created by the Israeli army. He never expected to use it, but it kept him in shape, and it had a cool name. Hoping the physicality would clear his mind, he followed the instructor through the simple practical forms. On a move where he had to hold a position for a few seconds, Sam's eyes drooped, and the room became a highway at night, white stripes flashing by. A big purple ball bounced in front of him, dropping money on the ground as it went. Sam shook himself awake. Angry, he jabbed the button on the remote to stop the video. He'd asked the damn doctor why he kept falling asleep. He'd gotten medicine, and nothing helped. To think it all started with falling asleep in his college classes. Needing to work off his frustrations, Sam donned a t-shirt, hoodie, and running shoes. He couldn't fall asleep while running. As he headed out, he grabbed his keys and said, "Alexa, lock the door behind me." "I can't do that, Sam." The bolt slid home. Rather than wait for the elevator, he jogged down the stairs. When he burst into the dark, chilly evening, he took a big breath of the Rocky Mountain air mixed with a little car exhaust. The wind bit at his exposed legs, but they would get hot soon enough. He used the block and a half north to Sloan Lake to warm up. When he crossed 17th into the park, he stopped to stretch his calves and hamstrings, thinking about Danelle's smile and her sardonic wit. Few could match her intelligence, and he'd screwed it up. He took off, an initial sprint to burn the anger. Not that his sprints had much speed, he'd never been a sprinter. On his high school track team, he could run a long way without slowing much. But then they'd asked him to run the 400 in a medley relay. He'd taken the baton in first place and given it to the anchor leg in last. The 2.5 miles to around Sloan Lake would just get him warmed up. When he reached the tennis courts, a red-headed woman in a black running suit, pushing an athletic stroller, jogged toward him. A young man in a gray hoodie dashed out of the courts. He grabbed the woman's large purse. She fell, crying out. The thief ran toward Sam. Sam got up on his toes, ready. He stepped into the thief's path. "Give the lady back her purse." "Fuck off," the thief said, and veered into the grass to go around Sam. So much for the nice approach. Would Krav Maga work? Sam lunged at the thief. He tried for a throw. The kid ran right past him. Sam grabbed and held on. The kid pulled him down the path. Stumbling and staggering, Sam's eyes drooped. He tried to blink to stay awake. He couldn't fall asleep now. His eyes closed again. His brain fired random thoughts about work. The park faded into the haunted woods from the Wizard of Oz. Gnarled boles with scary faces on them, silent for now. A yellow brick road ran by on the left. Rotten apples studded the ground, covering the stunted grass and bare dirt. A sign said something about a witch's castle. The wind howled through the branches, and overhead flew flying monkeys, wearing hats and jackets. The entire scene was lit only by a gibbous moon. The thief fell to the ground. He looked around, dumbfounded. Sam let go and sat up. Hey, monkeys! The witch wants this guy! Eyes wide, the thief looked up. 5 flying monkeys swooped down to carry him away. They lifted him off the ground and flapped up through the leafless branches. The thief struggled and tore at their claws until they dropped him from about 30 feet. He landed on a perfect pillow pile that appeared just in time. The thief bounced and groaned. Sam sat down next to the kid to cover the childhood heebie-jeebies shaking in his chest. Interesting choice. I would have given back the purse myself. Overhead, the monkey circled and screamed. The light grew dimmer as if smoke blew across the sun. The kid just stared. Ah, well, I suppose I should have let them have you. Sam rolled to his feet and stepped away. The monkeys dropped from the sky and latched onto the would-be thief. He screamed as they lifted him up. Help me! Sam cocked his head. Are you going to give the purse back and apologize? A voice came from nowhere, startling Sam. I called the red-headed woman who belonged to the purse appeared. Cops. She looked around at the haunted forest. What the hell? It's the haunted forest, Sam said. Dorothy and the Tin Man ought to be along any time. The yellow brick road glowed beneath their feet. Then we can all go off to see the wizard. Both the woman and the thief stared at him like a crazy man. Maybe he was. How did they get in his dream anyway? Sam decided to go with it. What could be more insane than a dream? It's the dragon you have to watch out for. He pointed at the sky as a shadow flew over them. There's no dragon in the Wizard of Oz, the thief cried. The woman cowered under a tree. Sam walked over to her. Don't worry, he's not coming for you. Far away, voices sang, We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of dreams. The haunted forest faded to reveal cornfields. A rather nondescript Dorothy appeared on the road with the Tin Man. This Tin Man wore a police hat and confusion on his face. What the hell? Welcome to the game, Sam shouted as munchkins in football pads bumped and bounced out onto the field. Everyone huddle up. The confused thief, the woman, the Tin Man cop, and the indistinct Dorothy gathered close. Sam knelt and gave them the play, pointing at the woman first. You go long. Dorothy, cut across to take the defenders with you. You 2 guys block the munchkins. On 3. Since he touched them all to get them here, touching them to get back made sense. Sam held out his hand out for each of them to grab. When they did, he said, Ready, wait! Sam blinked and found himself back in Sloan Lake Park. A chill breeze blowing over him and rustling trees overhead. The grass felt almost wet beneath his back. The thief, the red-headed woman, and a police officer were lying on him. Ugh. I had the strangest dream, Auntie M. You were in it, and you were in it, and even you. All 3 glared, puzzled and angry. The officer, whose name tag read Willis, finished handcuffing the thief and hauled him to his feet. Looking between the woman, Sam, and the thief, he tried to recover his severe, in-control attitude. What's happened here? Sam pointed at the thief. He stole this woman's diaper bag, she interrupted. He stole my diaper bag. Everyone looked over at the stolen bag, which had spilled its contents, diapers, wipes, a Ziploc with Cheerios, and lotion. 3 hours later, Sam staggered back into his apartment. A trace of Danelle's perfume lingered beneath the usual sense of supper and clean linens. The place never seemed so lonely. The police had grilled Sam even as they praised him for helping. The perpetrator's story confused them, what with flying monkeys, haunted forests, and munchkin football. Sergeant Willis stayed mum, so they gave the thief a psych eval. Sam stuck with his judo hold story and landing on the guy by accident. Exhausted, Sam went through his bedtime rituals, brushing teeth, washing his face, putting on pajamas. When he lay down and pulled a sheet across his skin, Sam stared at the ceiling, wide awake. He tried to calm his breathing. He rolled to his side and closed his eyes. A song from the police station radio played in his head. He squirmed until his eyes popped open again. During the day, at work, making love, he fell asleep. Lying in bed, his mind raced. Groaning in disgust, he threw the sheet off and got up. Maybe working out again would help. What had he just done with those people in the dream? What did it all mean? And that's it for today. If you want to find out what it means, you can get a hold of the book on Amazon. There's also, that's called Narcolepsy Falls Asleep. Looks like that. It's backwards. And the other one is Narcolepsy is Shocked. Oh boy, is he ever shocked. And I hope you enjoy everything, and we'll talk to you later. Good night.